Today we are going to talk about Clubhouse. And this new app has really revolutionized the way that people are communicating. And we're going to do a deep dive with that and talk about how to get it. So you're going to use your phone and download the Clubhouse app. I'm looking at my phone now because I'm being notified that rooms are starting. So Lise, why don't you talk to people about Clubhouse? What is this crazy thing that is so addicting right now?
So it's a great new app. I've been trying to find the best way to describe it. Anywhere from a live podcast to the truest virtual networking social media platform that you can think of at the moment. You're literally networking with folks from all industries, high net worth individuals, really successful folks that you wouldn't normally have access to potentially.
Right.
Time.
Yeah, it's wild. Like yesterday I was on for way too long. But what I saw was that Grant Cardone, who everybody knows, huge influencer, is talking to someone off the street who has like 50 followers. And he's giving him advice on how to become a millionaire for free. It's absolutely wild. This morning I woke up, I jumped on Don Hobbs's room. So Don Hobbs is running Success Magazine, which EXP just bought. Don is friends with Tony Robbins, everybody, every major player. I'm talking to him one-on-one about how he starts his morning, his routine, his little habits. This platform would never, like outside of this platform, I never would have been able to talk to him one-on-one and get this advice and this learning and teaching had I been on Facebook or had I been on LinkedIn, because it's so flat.
And what I'm hearing from even influencers firsthand is that they are valuing the content and the access to these folks that you're mentioning, people that they might normally drop significant money to listen to at a conference. Obviously, right now in a COVID culture, we're not traveling as much, but we're getting information that you normally hop on a plane to go see a nationally renowned speaker. And we're getting it in real time on phones, in some instances connecting one-on-one with these individuals and having our specific questions answered in real time.
Yeah, so let's do a deep dive in and talk about it. So it's an app on your phone. It's called Clubhouse. Now, if you were lucky enough to get an invitation, take it. Take the invite right now. Jump on certain times of the day. You'll see different classes pop up all over the place. I mean, there's literally rappers, entertainers, models, singers, songwriters, everybody, and they have their own different group. Based on your interest, you can jump on any platform and learn from the best. So if you go on your app, download Clubhouse. If you don't get an invitation, what you can do is ask to go into a room. So if certain friends that you have on your phone are in, you can be asked to be let in. And as I'm talking, I'm getting all these invites from these influencers like, hey, do you want to jump in this referral group? Do you want to do this, do that? And that's why I keep on touching my phone. But anyway, if you're lucky to get in, you're on the wait list, get in. And what you want to do is work on your profile. So your profile is the first thing that everybody sees. Now, what you cannot do in this world is you can't chat, you can't text, you can't do any emojis or anything like that. It's like a living, breathing radio show where you can now chime in and ask questions. So Lise, why don't you talk about that a little bit more?
So you raise a really good point, at least right now, and certainly the app is still in its very early stages, and I'm sure it will continue to evolve. But right now, there isn't a messaging mechanism. It's another opportunity to grow your Instagram. I've been folks that are connecting there. It's also a great way to have people review your other social media platforms, get real-time feedback from them. The amount of content that is being shared freely and coming from just a genuine place of wanting to help folks has really been inspiring. Real energy charge as we start this new year.
Oh, I can't hear you. I don't know if your volume's off.
Sorry.
And we're doing a new thing. So this isn't Zoom. This is a totally different platform as we're talking about Clubhouse, which is another platform. So we missed the last couple seconds, which is you were saying that you're talking to influencers, you're getting advice from different people from different industries.
Absolutely. And to watch how people are just being generous of their time, their resources, their experience has really been a great energy charge and a great start to the new year. There's no better time to get on an app like this.
What is so cool about this app is, and all these things keep on popping up with networking groups, is that everybody is coming from a place of sharing. And I follow people, and what I'm learning is that when I look at their profile, you are linked to their Instagram and you're linked to their Twitter. So if you want to message them, you go on their Instagram, you message them, you follow them, and the response has been incredible. Like, I've made at least 10 connections. I've been talking to Kyle Whistle right before here, who was telling me his morning routine and how awesome that was. Now, I can't pick up the phone and call Kyle. But what I can do is jump on Clubhouse. You can see who's in there. But let's go over the little things. So, like, for instance, when you go into a room, you can raise your hand by going the bottom right-hand side, clicking on your hand, and then you're asked to speak. Sometimes rooms are so huge, like, yeah, Gary Vaynerchuk could be in a room and he's talking. They're going to mute everybody, so you sit back and listen, and then you'll have moderators. What else? Then you'll get notifications. So if you're interested in real estate, which is what I am, or business, how to become a millionaire, Grant Cardone is in there all the time, dropping bombs, giving free information to anybody who's listening. And he'll talk to anyone one-on-one, which is something like that stuff never, ever happens. It's free. You can network. It's not real estate agents throwing up about their brokerage. It's brokerage agnostic, meaning we don't care what brokerage you're from. We're all here to learn and share. And that in and of itself, Lisa, was something that I had wanted to do for years, because every brokerage would just hold on to their secrets. They didn't want to share. Even within certain brokerages, agents wouldn't share with agents. And here you have this platform where you have top agents selling $200 million a year. Teams like Veronica with EXP in Florida, like, insanity. Like, the information that I've been getting over the past 5 days has been like the movie The Matrix, the sci-fi movie where they're downloading information into Keanu Reeves' head. Like, that's how mind-blowing it is, and it's addicting. So what are your two positive, like, what are your positives and what are your negatives for this?
Well, I like the transparency. It's a little bit refreshing. You would think with it being an audio-based app where you're not really seeing folks, that folks wouldn't be as transparent, as genuine. There is true collaboration, at least in the groups that I've been finding myself in.
Yes.
And to your point, this isn't just for realtors. So obviously this is our wheelhouse. We work in real estate, but there are so many other interests, as Stacie already pointed out: the entertainment industry, the healthcare industry. I hopped into a group of healthcare practitioners from around the country who were giving out health advice. People had questions and they were looking for some alternatives to some health issues they were having. You name it, the folks are in there. So this is for everyone. This is just not a message for realtors. It's obviously great for our business, but for many others as well.
You mentioned a good point. So I took a class yesterday. It has nothing to do with work. And it was a gentleman whose name escapes me. He wrote a book about the brain and how to optimize your brain. So it starts with the food that you eat, and he called blueberries brainberries, eating eggs, having olive oil, stuff like that, the amount of sleep that you have. And then one of the top things that he said was, and it sounds silly, I swear to God, but it's exercise, because when you're moving, your brain is moving. And yes, we all know that, but when you hear it again, and then he gives you all these other little nuggets, I had to pull my car over and start writing notes down. It's just, and that's something that I never would have gotten unless I bought an Audible book, or unless I went on to his Instagram and read all this stuff. Like, the flow of information that's coming is at breakneck speed. It's absolutely insanity. And this is only the beta version of it. It's not even official yet.
And you raised a good point. I think we're all surrounded by noise all day long. And how can we fit another app or another source of information into our daily lives? we're being bombarded with information. We're being marketed to 24/7. The nice thing that I found about this app is that it is always there. That's a
Oh my
danger.
gosh.
Uh,
24 hours a day. I'm
24
like, da, 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 da.
find someone. But it's been great for car rides when I'm commuting to and from a listing appointment, or I'm getting ready to pick the kids up from school. I can hop in and listen, and during that time, work on referral networking, educating myself. So making better use of my time throughout the day. One of the speakers that I listened to this morning was talking about, your day should really be about lead generation for our business.
Yes.
Evenings should be about
I'll
education.
be right back.
So he gave us some really helpful tips on how to use this app at specific moments. So like anything else, it's hard to find time to set aside for education, for networking. You can literally jump in at a moment's notice when you have the time to get on, to speak, to listen. So that's what I've found to be really helpful, is that it is there for you literally 24/7.
And the positives that I wanted to take away were that there's a Miracle Morning class by a couple of different people. There's heads of organizations and industries that you would never have access to, that you're now talking to one-on-one. It's free right now, but again, it's in its beta phase. Over 1 million people alone have jumped on this in the past 30 days. And just something that's so odd that would never happen in a million years. A rapper and music mogul who shall remain nameless. I was talking to him one-on-one on Clubhouse. Then we were talking last night on Instagram, and he's giving me information and advice in business that can be applied to ours. Like, in what world is that ever going to happen? It's complete. I say this because I'm like, at times I'm addicted to it. My husband's like, you got to walk away. Like, let's go. And I'm like, hon, I'm going on. I'm a moderator. I'm going to say something right now. You got to hold on. I would say that's the biggest negative, is really tracking your time with this, because it's almost like Alice in Wonderland, and you go down the rabbit hole and it's like, you don't know, you lose track of time, and you're like, wait a minute, I just learned all this stuff, but what time is it? Where are the kids? The kids are in school. That's how much learning it is. It's better than Audible. It's better than any YouTube channel and every social media. That's why sometimes I call it the crack of social media, because it's addicting, and you get an adrenaline rush. You meet all these people that you never would have met. I'm talking with Liza in Miami. She's an agent, an awesome agent. We're going to collaborate on Thursday about work. Never would have met her, but I met her on Clubhouse.
I think one of the great things too, and I'm stealing this from someone who I've gotten a chance to listen to quite a bit over the last days on Clubhouse, Zillow Killer. If you're real
Yes.
and you've not sought him out, he's just a wealth of information. James, just an amazing individual, and he talks about the culture that is present in each of these social media platforms. So I know some folks where Facebook is their place; they're most comfortable there. Some folks who are really focused on Instagram, others that have found success with TikTok. There's a place for everyone, and you can gain information and improvement from any of these apps. And that's really the great thing as well, is finding the culture that suits your needs, you're looking for, either in your business or your personal life.
Bern, thanks for watching. And if anyone has any questions, please chime in. This is really cool. I'm so glad our marketing company put us on this platform so we could answer questions. I do want to say that I was in jail the other day this week, Lise.
Not
I
literal.
was in jail for a day, and I was in jail because I was so excited in Clubhouse that I followed more than 10 people. So this is a rule, just so people know. You cannot follow more than 10 to 15 people at a time. Otherwise, you're going to end up like me. And I was in jail, and I couldn't do anything. I couldn't friend anybody or unfriend for, sometimes it's a day. Thank God it was just a day for me. Sometimes it's a week for some people, and they'll put in their profile, I'm in jail, I'll follow you later. But the profile itself is really important. What you want to do is get your Instagram handle and your Twitter. I have a Twitter, I never go on it, but the Instagram's a huge thing, because you'll get your numbers up just by having these conversations with people that you never would have. And you're networking. We can now network from home, where Lisa was saying we would have to go to New Orleans, which I didn't mind doing at all, or California wine country. This sounds bad, but we can do it from home is my point. And the reach that we have is better than any, hey, let's go to the, the conferences, the summits, the masterminds. This blows it away. That's like, it's like driving a Ford, or a Datsun, and now you're into a Maserati or whatever, McLaren.
Well, the other piece of that is, even if you are getting to those conferences and you're listening to influencers and experts, are you getting one-on-one with them? Generally not. It's really hard to have your questions answered directly or have that chance to network. That's happening on Clubhouse right now. You're getting that one-on-one connection with people that you, even if you paid to see them somewhere across the country.
And we did. We paid to see one in Chicago.
Absolutely. The likelihood of you then getting in front of that person is very slim. So that is really something special for sure.
So I ran a room for the first time a couple days ago. I didn't know what to expect. I thought 3 people would be in there. I was with another agent that I had never met. I met her on Clubhouse. She's an EXP agent on the West Coast, Ingrid. And we ran the room. We had 62 people in this room. Lisa jumped on. She invites a VP of NAR, Lee Brown, to speak. Now, this woman has 2 different podcasts. She's written 3 different books. Lisa and I paid to see her in Chicago.
We did.
She jumps on and tells us something mind-blowing about how not to write love letters if you are in a multiple offer situation and you have a buyer, and how not to write that love letter because it is a fair housing rule violation. That's $50,000. That's what it comes with. I never would have known that. And I'm going to teach class tomorrow for team meeting tomorrow over how not to do that and how to handle things the right way. And again, she just jumps on and gives us all that value.
So you raise a good point. You may be going on with a specific intent, or maybe none at all. Maybe you're just curious. And those little nuggets of information that you maybe weren't even expecting are helping you grow your mindset, grow your business, tweak things. Maybe in this instance, avoid a serious violation that could really impact your business financially and professionally. Right. So those surprises that you're not even maybe searching for have been really rewarding and refreshing as well.
It's awesome. And I would end this review and say that if you're not on Clubhouse, definitely sign up. If someone gives you an invite and you get a text, jump on that, because that is like the golden ticket from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. It really is, because it opens all these doors that never would have been open. You'll network and meet people. You're going to learn a ton. Your head is going to be spinning, and you may not be able to sleep. What?
And you can come and hang out with us.
So, Chris, thanks for jumping on this. So what is a room? So a room is, when you join this app, there's all these different, I'll say, classrooms, if you will. So, for instance, there's one that I ran that said how to deal with multiple offers. So you can jump in a room, you click on it, you see everybody who's in there, and then you have a moderator who is really the teacher of the classroom. That's the person that opened the room. And if you want to raise your hand and speak and give value, you hit a hand at the bottom right, and they'll bring you up. And what you can do is, like what I've done is say, hey, I'm Stacie Koroly. I don't say where I'm from because it doesn't matter. But what I say is, hey, we're running this class or this group, and it's based on multiple offer situations. So there's agents all across the country. There's also title reps and mortgage reps that are on there, and they give their own spin or their own angle of how they want to see things to give us value. So people will raise their hands and say, hey, Stace, I'm from Florida. And what I found in my market is that multiple situations are very quick. And what I like when I'm the seller's agent is an email summarizing with bullet points this offer. Or someone will say, you know, I'm the selling agent, and here's what I like. When I have multiple offers, I black out everybody's name. If there's letters, I don't add those love letters, because that seller doesn't need that emotion as part of this sale. So we had this, and some woman that knew a lot more, Lee Brown, that knew a lot more than I did, jumped on and gave value to this group, and it grew to 62. We ran it for less than an hour, and a lot of people spoke up. And you literally have to get a paper and pen and write down the things that you've learned, because it's so much, and it's so like the things that you learn. It's been insane. And these, I think I've been in it for 7 days, but that's what running a room means, Chris. It means you sign up and you can actually put it on the calendar and say, hey, Christine Dick on Thursday at 7 a.m. is doing a, wants to talk to realtors who exercise or who vibe and do the stuff that you do, Chris. So you can share like-minded, or you can do different. If you want to learn about something, you can open up a room and people will come and share. Lise, what were you going to say?
This probably isn't a great description, but if you haven't been on it and you're trying to understand what it is, it's almost like a Zoom without the video and all of the annoyance. Up into at a moment's notice. So that's been another thing that folks have been laughing about. You could be just hopping with Ben. You could be at Lee, actually, who Stacie was talking about, who gave us such great information. She was actually on her exercise.
Right. Here's on her Peloton, giving out bombs. It was insane. So and she was out of breath. She's like, hey, y'all, I just got to jump in here and let you know, like, you cannot ever, I never want to see these love letters. You better get rid of that. Like, it's awesome.
It's
so
great.
If you have not joined, sign up for it.
Your name.
I mean, Lise, what do you think? You've been doing it as much as I have.
I feel like I've only scratched the surface. There's a lot that I haven't found yet. I've been very realtor focused, obviously, because that's our business. But I'm interested to sort of navigate some of these other facets because there are endless groups on there. So I'm interested to dive into some of those special interest groups as well. So it's
and
great.
If you do join Clubhouse, which I hope you do, get an invite or sign up and someone will let you in the door. Lisa's handle and my handle is on there. And we're also on Instagram, but we're going to be posting this all over social media. This is the newest thing, and people need to adapt, because if you are not on this, you are missing out big time. It's light years ahead of anything that I've ever seen.